Well, I haven't actually told a story about my dog in a while. I don't know if you guys remember this story. But in the middle of building our house, I saw this puppy show up on my Facebook. And if you know me, this is very odd. I wanted it, and I told Seth, I need this dog. And he's like, that's weird for you. But I guess that's what you want. And so in the middle of a housing project, we really had no business getting a puppy. We got a puppy. It wasn't even, I was living in my grandpa's house, really probably shouldn't have brought a dog there, but we did. So you do first and apologize later. And so this dog and me have had this special bond, and it was unusual enough that I got this dog, but the second part is really unusual, that I let it sleep in bed with us. And that is, we've never done that with a dog before, right? And I was thinking last night, he was getting extra love because he was a good boy yesterday. He helped Seth go track something down, and Seth was super impressed, so he was getting all sorts of love. And so last night, he was real cuddly, and he kept kind of like just wiggling his way, in, and I was like, I guess I'll make room for you, and so I was sleeping kind of in a ball, like making sure Chester was totally comfortable at the edge of my bed, right? But, and I was just thinking how that's so not who I am at all. I don't do that sort of thing, but I was thinking how we sing the song in Selah a lot that says, I will make room for you to come do what you want to do in my heart. But I was thinking how often we say that and I say, come, Lord, come do whatever you want to do in my heart. But I'm kind of like, yeah, come do whatever you want, as I'm like moving away from him. And he's like, okay, you've invited me in, and I'm protecting it a little because not right now though. I don't want to talk about that issue right now. Or, you only have the time limit from 10 to noon on Sunday to do this, Lord. Or, and we can say these things, Lord, come have your way in my heart. But are we really opening our heart up to what God has to say to us? Because sometimes what he has to say to us is at an inconvenient moment, or maybe he has something to say to us that we don't really want to hear. Just a word of like, hey, check your motives here, check your actions here. And how often I say that, and I say, God, I want your presence in my life. I want you to come and speak to my heart. And yet I don't. I say it and I turn and I walk away, and I never give him the room to do it. Remember, Jesus is at the door knocking. We make the choice if we're going to open the door or not. He's so respectful of our decisions. He's so respectful of what we are going to allow him to do and not allow him to do in our lives. He very rarely forces that door down unless we say, hey, you know what, Lord? I do want to make the time for you to come speak to my heart, to calm my nerves, whatever it is. Just this week I've battled a little bit of some anxiety and just different things and a lot on my mind. And I know the thing to do is to sit and allow him to come speak to me. And yet I just keep going, yeah, come speak to me. Are you coming to come speak to me? As I'm running and guarding my heart away from what he has to say. Because sometimes I don't want to hear it, and sometimes I'm just, not right now. Maybe in a couple days. I don't have time right now. And yet, when we fully can come to him and say, Lord, come speak to my heart, he will not let us down. He will not disappoint us. He will come and fellowship with us and be with us in our down moments. And so I just encourage you, if you're like me and you're a little bit of like come on, God, are you going to come speak to my heart or not? Man, check yourself. Are you sitting there listening? Are you quieting yourself? Are you opening yourself up to it? In Psalms 119:33, it says, teach me, Lord, the way of your decrees, that I may follow it to the end. Give me understanding so that I may keep your law and obey it with all my heart. Direct me in the path of your commands, for there I find delight. Turn my heart toward your statutes and not toward selfish gain. Turn my eyes away from worthless things. Preserve my life according to your word. Fulfill your promise to your servant so that you may be feared. Take away the disgrace I dread, for your laws are good. How I long for your precepts. In your righteousness, preserve my life. That's our cry. Lord, come teach me your statutes. And I'm not going to turn and hide, and I'm not going to say, not right now, though. You only can do that on Sunday, or you can only do that about an hour on Wednesday. No, Lord, whenever I want to hear from you. I'm opening that door. I'm allowing you to have that place in my life. Come speak to me. I want your presence in my life. I want to live by your commands. I want that. Because when I am in that place, there's peace. There's joy. There's understanding. There's wisdom. So if you're like me and you play a little cat and mouse, and sometimes you go, geez, God's not even talking to me. Oh, is he not talking to you? Or are you just really good at finding other things to do in that moment?